Anything new today? When you wake up each morning and you find something new, don't you get excited? Aren't you tempted to expect that one day there will be something good, something big, something life-changing that will come out from this new thing? If your answer to my questions are a yes, yes, and yes, then we are all in the same belief that discoveries are significant parts of our existence. This is the feeling when we do basic research. Whether due to curiosity, to serendipity, or to a simple stroke of luck and fortune, any discovery is one to rally around. The National Research Council of the Philippines, the biggest collegial body of more than 4,700 scientists and artists from all over the country in all disciplines, is mandated by Act 4120, which created it, to promote basic and fundamental research. The NRCP is an advisory body to government for issues of local and national concerns. Our R&D agenda is embodied in the NIBRA, the National Integrated Basic Research Agenda, which focuses on 6 issue-based areas of research. These fall under the category of oriented basic research. Are the lakes and rivers dying? Or are they still pristine? Are our mined-out areas needing rehabilitation? Saklaw is the answer. This is our priority NIBRA program on sustainable communities. It focuses on saving and protecting our vulnerable ecosystems, especially those experiencing habitat modification. So what's new? Our scientists have found bioindicators of water quality such as the fishworms of the 7 lakes of San Pablo and the ciliates of Lake Lanao. We have new knowledge and discoveries such as the moths, the butterflies, and insects of Lake Colon in South Cotabato, as well as the new spiders found in Mount Makiling. Aside from the discoveries, we generate policy recommendations based on scientific findings, such as for lake resource development and conservation, as well as for bioremediation strategies and protocols using indigenous microbes for mined-out areas. Our researchers have likewise drafted a model on disaster risk communication, which local government units use as a decision support tool. Yes, the NRCP has a strong social science and humanities base of experts. They work with biologists and botanists in ethnobiological studies. These are researchers who churn up models and systems, case studies, documentaries, and creative works, as well as big data analytics on culture and heritage. This makes NRCP unique as it promotes a home for social scientists, artists, governance experts, and planners, all for inclusive nation building under the NIBRA priority, the ATIN program. So what's new? Our researchers have produced an e-dictionary of the Maghananoo of Bañez and a compilation of extant Cebuano songs and the marginal yet resilient music of Southern Mindanao, as well as the use of digitized arts as an anti-HIV advocacy tool. We have also produced policy recommendations to support House bills such as on teenage pregnancy and the health concerns of OFWs. More discoveries have resulted from funded projects under our 3rd NIBRA priority, the LICAS program. Our priority is on studies on potential sources of natural products from rare environments. So what's new? One research produced more than 3,000 diverse marine sediment-derived actinobacteria that served as a biobank of natural compounds for development into antibiotic and anti-cancer agents. This is the most comprehensive work ever conducted in the Philippines on the topic. And guess what? The basic research finding laid the groundwork to establish validated data and information needed to prepare the country should there be an epidemic or a pandemic of emerging bacterial infections. Aside from marine sediments, our researchers are now looking into other rare environments such as mangrove soils, volcanic soils, and bat guano. Are you fond of street foods? Kwek-kwek, isaw, fish balls, and balat? NIBRA has the SAPAT program for food and nutrition security, where focus is on studies regarding food and feed contaminants. So what's new? Ongoing projects found the sources of heavy metal contamination, bacterial pathogen contamination, and parasite contamination and transmission in some agricultural farms. This led to the crafting of policy advisories towards the improvement of control strategies for food security. How about drinking water? NRCP also funds basic research on water pollutants and contaminants, with focus on drinking water under its Too Big program. We want researches on standards regarding water availability and quality indices, such as Water Supply Stress Index. So what's new? We have initial evidence to show the presence of haloacetic acids and heavy metals in drinking water in certain parts of the country. This year, we are looking for studies on salt intrusion in drinking water, particularly in coastal communities. The importance cannot be undermined since 50% of Philippine municipalities are coastal, where almost all major cities are coastal and where 62% of Filipino population lives in the coastal zone. The question, will we have safe and potable water to drink by 2040? That's 20 years from now, or by 2050? Before any technology of desalination can take place, basic research is a necessary first. ALERT is our sixth NIBRA program, which focuses on resource assessment of potential alternative sources of energy for geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas. We have not been getting much proposals in this area, but with the few that we have funded, we have one for algae and another one on the isolation of photofermenting bacteria for biohydrogen production. Now you may ask, I am a purist. Can I get funded by NRCP? The answer is yes. If you are a purist like the pure mathematicians or physicists, who endeavor to expand and even go beyond the borders of the discipline, those who theorize, those who do modeling, and those who set the basis for many inventions, your idea falls under the category of pure basic research. Come to NRCP, and we will fund your ideas and interests. Let me tell you of a new NRCP program during this time of the pandemic. We funded quick and small budget studies under the special program on K-TOP COVID, Kapakanan ng Tao sa Oras ng Pandemya. So what's new? I will cite one example. We produced the country's first gender-sensitive COVID-19 online dashboard for local policy and decision-making. This is to highlight the importance of inclusivity, as gender is among the most neglected social dimensions of the pandemic. Further, NRCP recently presented features of a gender-responsive work-from-home scheme in the new normal. These are just some of the developments in the exciting world of basic research. Now, how does this relate to your lives, to our lives, you may ask? Basic research help forge a better future. Basic research help guide policy and laws based on science and evidence. Basic research help shape the future technologies, and basic research help future resource allocation. By knowing and understanding what we have now in terms of biodiversity, mineral riches, and other resources, then we at the NRCP may help give future generations an edge through setting the foundations for scientific inquiry. We may not have the glitz and the glamour of immediate commercial technologies, but we have firm and solid foundations on social technologies. By our scientists' collective endeavors, we help influence policy direction, resource allocation, and future technologies that will impact future generations. All this made possible by new knowledge and discoveries. Discoveries make the world exciting. From discoveries to policies, this is how basic research changes the world. From discoveries to policies to real work, this is how basic research gives life to the world. So anything new today? That is for basic research to answer. Because basic research discovers. Basic research is the bedrock, the solid ground, the foundation, the seed. If the teacher can proudly say, I made them all, when referring to professionals whom they have mentored and nurtured, what will the basic science researcher proudly say? I started it all. Ladies and gentlemen, connect with NRCP and widen the horizon of science and the arts. Let us all generate novel discoveries to build a better country.